Hi, today we're going to do a quick demo of deploying the new Terraform Enterprise clustering on top of Azure. The new system for Terraform Enterprise clustering utilizes Terraform modules that come directly out of the Terraform registry to actually deploy the cluster. This is opposed to the previous version where you'd install it onto an existing Linux server. The reason for the modules is that the cluster configuration is more in depth and it's much easier to manage from using them from modules. This particular page goes over for the Azure module. You can see the architecture, some information about the network configuration, examples, as well as the inputs and outputs, which are also available from here. We have a working example over here that we can go from that we use to deploy a sample system. From here, you can see that we've specified our module as well as the current version, and then some test resources to actually use for this particular demo. Important here is that you have some existing resources within Azure pre-configured, such as a key vault, resource group, virtual network, subnet, and along with the virtual network, a network security group. Lastly, the license is also required to install the system, as well as a certificate that matches the domain given so that we can set up TLS properly. Lastly, you can specify some outputs. These particular outputs here, you can look at all the outputs over here to figure out what you would like to look at. For this particular system, I've actually already run the plan and run the deployment. So let's go ahead and just look at what the state that was generated from this is. So here you can see that we've generated some DNS records to point into the actual cluster load balancer, some particular rules, the information about the certificate inside the key vault. We've specified the network, the virtual network, and the subnet. We've generated an SSH key. We generated a few passwords that are used for various things within the configuration, as well as configuring the cloud init that actually is booted on the system. One thing about this new system is that it does everything through the configuration that's actually inside the Terraform module, and this allows our customers the ability to use their own base images, disk images, to deploy the systems that can have existing aspects like configuration or agents already baked into them. We don't require any special disk images. In this particular configuration, we support having 3 primaries. For this first release, it is only 3 primaries, as well as a flexible group of secondary nodes, which can be anywhere from 0 up to 99 different actual secondary nodes. So here we see the 3 primaries explicitly configured, as well as the scale set used for the actual secondaries. Once it's all run, the system will come up. In this particular one, we saw that there were some outputs that were listed for the actual dashboard URL, and which I've gone to over here. This was the dashboard URL that was generated from this deploy. We've come in here, logged in with our console password, and then we can go ahead. This came up after the cluster deployed. It takes about 20 to 30 minutes, and once it's deployed, we can go ahead and click open, and now we're actually inside working on once we're here, we can see that we're just configuring a brand new cluster. And there we go. Thanks so much.